So, welcome back, guys. My name's Mitoletre, and welcome to another video, another Minecraft video.
Another one.
Previously, we made a Ikea building, commercial building.
Whoa!
So, currently, we're going to react to what I build next. So, let's start. So, what's really going on here? So, we're seeing the external building of the facade of the commercial building, and inside are the commercial slots that we have, which are the Anytime Fitness, the church, and as well as a theater room, and as well as the coffee shop at the back. And then we have two empty commercial slots that are available, and what it looks like from afar, the building itself, and the few glimpse of the Anytime Fitness equipments and the other equipments, and then the bathroom and the balcony at the second floor. And then we're going to see the perfume and store and the stairway IKEA building. The next scenery, we're seeing how do we enter to the IKEA building itself, and the stairway to the second floor, and then we're going up to the IKEA building itself. And mostly what we see in IKEA, there's a maze and a social spot for people to talk to, and the rooms currently are empty, but generally in IKEA you have a maze to go around to, a route, some sort of a route that you have to follow before you reach to the stairs to the next level, and it makes you want to buy something, right? And
Yes.
this is the kitchen for the IKEA dining area, so where you order. So that's all for my previous video. So right now we're working on a art gallery. So what more to do better in that with something interesting like a spiral staircase, right? By the way, honestly, I don't know how I did it, but I didn't record it. Sorry to say, because it's so sophisticated to record, and it's like trial and error.
And which resulted to what you see right now, a beautiful spiral staircase.
Right now, I'm adding some interesting sky view, which you could see in the interior later on.
This also adds rhythm and you could also step on it. Now you see me carving out the floor, and this would be the limit of the site itself.
So right now, I currently clear out the floor and replace it with wood vinyl, a light material in Minecraft.
Wow.
So the idea in building this art gallery is I want to create something that is more grounded. So what better way to do that is create something like a nature-like and a cozy, comfortable scenery to look at, right? So I've added this vinyl floors so that it's some sort of like a warm feeling, and then later on we'll see what I would be adding to make it look grounded. So the ceiling on the top has a purpose, so we're going to add a soil to the flooring, which we'll add later on. So you kind of see what's going on with my intent with these structures. So I've added a space for the tree to grow, and as well it would add some foliage inside the interior of the art gallery. and some books. So it's not just an art gallery but also a bookstore as well. So in creating buildings, you have to have some horizontal and vertical lines. So we've added this um, tree trunks, which would create some sort of like a grounded feeling as well. And this slabs of wood, and this is how it looks from the exterior. So we'll be adding some tables here. For this next part, we'll be doing the floor for the third floor. We'll see how this pans out beautifully later on. We've talked about the horizontal and vertical lines, and now we'll be doing something much relevant to that topic, which is rhythm. So I'm going to create rhythm, as you can see later from this. Oh, and right here I've created vertical and horizontal lines, and as well some rhythm with this building. So as well as considering the building restrictions for making these kinds of houses as well. So what I mean by that is I want it to be grounded as well, and some sort of like a realistic way in building a art gallery.
So bottom line, more realistic kinds of buildings. Next is the fire exit.
So for this part, I've already created a fire exit. So generally, the stair that I made here is for use for the employees that are working for the gift shop that I made at the first floor, and this staircase would also have a purpose for elders that wouldn't like to go upstairs spirally, and maybe if there are so many people like inside the building, so they would use this, but it's generally not really a what do you call this, a first priority for stairs that they could use. So mainly the stairs that the people should use is this spiral. This one is only for emergency or some cases elderly that wouldn't like to go up the spiral staircase.
Some sort of a back door, right?
So here I'm just finishing the firewall and the back door exit. And as I mentioned previously, I made a gift shop that's on the base floor of this art gallery, and the rear part is the fire exit, right? So you could probably slip in some artworks, and while other people wouldn't uh, actually see the artwork that you're going to install in the art gallery. So this is me here trying to finish the firewall at the fire exit, and then adding some windows as well. So for this part, we're mainly gonna focus on the rooftop structure, which I'm going to make in a minute. So finishing off the fire exit and going up. So you can see that I made some kind of a baseboard for this structure on the top. So generally it would be like something that represents in a real life structure, mainly on my builds, just to point that out. And then this kinds of structure would have a significance on something like this part right here on the top. This would be a rental um, studio for a artist that would like to paint art and stay for a while and while making a painting. So that's the purpose of this structure right here on the rooftop for artists to utilize the studio to make art and to showcase afterward. So for this part, I've already done the top structure, which is gonna be a studio for artists in making art, painting arts. And then I'm currently finishing the windows on the first floor, second floor, and third floor, coming from the rear part of the facade. So generally, I'm making some like views, looking at some views, thinking the things that I want to add. The top floor is gonna be a basis for the next structure on the lateral part of the art gallery. The top structure is gonna be the limit of what the next building should be. So it shouldn't go over.
Right now, I'm doing some look around, getting some imaginative thinking, and then later on, I'll add some kind of a bench and tree as well over here on these two empty spaces.
So for this part, after finishing the studio for the art gallery on the rooftop, we'll be making the tree structure.
The big frame right here is very seamless, right? You could step on it as well.
Really telling on how I made the tree structure and doing the branches. So doing some site viewing and showing you how I made the branches to simulate tree like branches, and then proceeding later on adding foliage, meaning the leaves. So deciding on how high would I do the branch and restructuring a unique design for each leaves, so it shouldn't look the same to simulate realistic foliage. And later on you'll see why I wanted this foliage to exist in the interior part of the art gallery. So let's see how I made this uh, foliage or tree design and what's the significance for it. So earlier I've said I wanted to make it more grounded, right? So that's why I made these three designs. So you see me looking upwards.
And this ends up being a rewarding feature and a beautiful to look at when you're inside the art gallery.
So for this next part, I've already finished the art gallery gift shop and currently doing the tables, some organic designs for it. So adding a log structure and some man-made bookshelves and some information table, something like that. Like you could search books, genres, and which floor do we have that. So that's for the design intention.
So mainly the intention of this is to make it more realistic. So later on we'll be adding more fixtures to the art gallery.
And this is the stairs for the entrance.
It looks more intentional and it looks really like an old oak tree that is been put there.
And seeing the back rear structure.
We're seeing how beautiful it turns out with the rhythm and everything.
For this part, I've already added some benches for people to sit at the art gallery. Some similar organic designs, meaning nature use building materials, and some tables, side tables, and then some other benches. People could sit and read a book and appreciating the design for the interior as well, coming from the foliage, and looking at the spiral staircase, which is significantly appreciated. And this helps looking around at the structure and the looking around the interior,
And exterior views.
which helps you brainstorm a lot of the things you would like to add on your building. Like it would be an interior design or a structural part of the building, and generally helps you a lot in making a real life or realistic structures for your Minecraft builds. So doing some looking around, and then already adding some paintings for the floors, and generally that's the things that I do when doing this kind of realistic structures.
Main thing here is to look around, then add realistic objects and finishing touches.
Continuing on adding some paintings, and later on I will add some bookshelves as well. Could be a filler, and also a design for people to walk around with. And you could see me doing the brainstorm thing on doing the paintings, so it wouldn't be repetitive. So every painting should be unique in the art gallery that I made. So adding these tables for the people to read the books, and then adding some couches for the elderly people that could sit, and looking around again, appreciating the view of the building itself.
We'll proceed to the roof deck that we've made.
I've already finished a interesting fixture for the rooftop, and adding some foliage for this rooftop table. So doing some looking around, and then intentionally seeing how it would look like coming from the windows from other structures. So adding those things into consideration. And then this is me adding some foliage, leaves, meaning leaves, and carefully adding some leaves in a intentional way, meaning it should be a realistic tree that you could look at from every angle. So that's my intention for it. And then I'll be adding some benches later on, which you'll see in a moment now. So adding some benches from the rear part of the building and the lateral part, and then at the front part of the structure. So it would be more realistic in a sense.
Next, you see what's really beautiful about this roof deck.
You're seeing a red sun, right? And currently I'm doing some finishing touches with the structure, and we're going to do a quick tour and look around the building. So we are now appreciating the view coming from the studio part of the rooftop, and then the front part of the exterior, appreciating it and adding some clock as well. So right now we're doing the tour of this Japanese art gallery. So why did I start this Japanese city? I mean part of the city in Minecraft. So I was inspired from playing Yakuza games. So there's this song that I really appreciate and quite remember. It's Baka Mitai, and it still remains in my mind. But I don't know Japanese really, like natively. So it's gonna sound gibberish. So while I'm doing some finishing touches, I could sing a part of the song, and I don't really want to show my face while doing it. So here goes nothing.
Baka Mitai 子供なのね夢を追ってき続いて嘘が下手なくせに笑えない笑顔を見せた I love you もう録音しはな口下手でのない不器用なのにどうしてさよならは言ってのダメ誰のダメだよあんたが好きで好きでどれだけ強いそげせでも歪みない思い出がバカみたい Nah, who am I kidding? I just read the lyrics. Here's my actual recording.
Dayun dukite Ononawa Daido shubite Dawe Daudo Dayun jistama Shoronata wa Baga shubite Baka Mitai. So that's generally the song of Baka Mitai, gibberish cover version. So I think the art gallery is almost finished or already finished. So I've added some bookshelves, information center, which is the digital enchantment table, and completely adding windows and paintings and such that you could say it's already completed, right? So here's the look exterior view of the rear part of the building, and added some natural lights so that it would be bright in the inside, and as well as slightly having some lighting on at the night. So for this next part is the interior of the studio for artists that could work on some paintings, and looking at the spiral staircase, showcasing it, and then the rear and front view of the exterior at day and night. And you could also see the mall going on right here beside the art gallery. So that was the aim for this structure, and showcasing again the spiral staircase and what it would look like under rear part, and then generally going away from the structure. And this is the idea coming from my girlfriend, which is a stand for the canvases.
which is called the
And
easel. Easel.
I haven't mentioned the rooftop part, yellow part right there, which is seamless, right? That you think that it's some kind of a sky feature going on, and this is also an attraction that people could go up to, and it's some kind of a staircase that they could sit on, right? And appreciate the view. And most
So another thing is that do not go over here at this side of the stairs because it's very steep. So that's the idea. So that's generally what I was saying. So that's it for the art gallery.
Hi, so my name is Mitoletre, and thank you for watching if you watch at the end of this video. And I'm currently using my Technofoba 5 for my microphone, and gonna use this Techno Common 30 Premiere for my editing, video editing. So, and that is a iPhone XS, which I'm currently using for my video, capturing my reactions. And thank you for watching this video. So I'm just starting my YouTube channel, so please like and subscribe. That's all. Thank you, and see you on the next one.